So, good evening and welcome to the BK Miami Facebook page, and special welcome to our evening conversations. My name is Meeta, and I'm here with Meredith, and we are here to sort of have this little conversation on today's topic, which is sweetness of silence. And silence is a word, if you've been meditating or if you're on a spiritual path, you could very likely relate to it. And even if you're new and perhaps tuning this for the first time, let's see if by the end of the session, silence becomes a more familiar feeling for you. So, Meredith, very glad to have this conversation with you. And what are your thoughts on silence?
Well, I find it interesting because as meditators, we have the opportunity to go into silence a lot, or we've learned about how to go into silence over the years. But Meeta, many people will tell me that they are afraid of silence. You know, the idea of, especially now, maybe with so many people being isolated, that silence is something that they can't deal with. It's just, their thoughts are going too fast and they're worrying too much. And often what they do is they try to like stifle the silence. And what do? They put on the TV, they go onto the internet, they get on the phone, anything but silence. And I think that there's nothing wrong with, having some distractions in life, right? There's nothing wrong with that. We need that at times, but to know the value of silence and to know how it can really, the way I see it, it can create change in our lives just by being able to tune out and tune in to that beautiful space of silence within us.
Yes, that's true, actually. I was thinking, even for, say, my friends who are not necessarily meditators or, but I think many of us appreciate silence in different ways, I think. Some have hobbies, which give us that space. It could be writing, painting, gardening. Right now where I live behind my house, there's this golf course, and so many times I see, people in golf course. Maybe they're by themselves and just playing that sport and going from here to there. And I sometimes think it's something, you're doing an activity, spending time with yourself. Um, but I think in meditation, when we talk about silence, it is a little different, right?
Yeah, but I like what you're talking about because I feel that people do seek it. Why do people do things where they can be alone, whether it's art? Of course, people that do art are creative, but even baking, I used to hear that baking for many people, I have heard, is a meditation because you're alone usually, unless of course you work in a restaurant or something, but most people baking at home, it's that alone feeling, which is what happens when you're alone with yourself. And often we're just so distracted in life that we have this fear of being with ourselves and learning how to be with ourselves. And so you're right, we've had this opportunity over many years to learn this. I actually think of it as kind of like an art, the art of silence, which I could definitely use some more tips as time goes on, or more practice as long as I've been doing it, because it takes a long time and a lot of effort to really be able to hit that point of silence within you. And so how do you see the benefits of silence? Like, what does it do for you personally?
I feel, with my practice and my understanding and my exposure to understanding this silence, I feel I can tap into it, even if, say, I am in a gathering, even if I'm in a busy place, even if there is a lot of things going on around me. And I think what it also does is, it gives me an opportunity to sort of center myself, um, and from that space of um, inner stability, I can come back to the activities that I'm attending to. So I use silence as a go-to point, from time to time during the day, even if I'm not exclusively sitting for meditating. So I like that. It just helps me center myself to stabilize.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Some people I often have seen at the center, and I've done the same thing at the meditation center where we go, you come in from, maybe people have come in from work or from home, and they're kind of, still moving quickly and a little heavily energized. And then they will go into our meditation room and be alone and just sit there for a few minutes and then come out and go to class. And I know myself that when I do that, I feel different. I feel as if I've had that chance to just leave behind the world, leave behind all the things that are going on in my life. And it's just a very fulfilling way to live and to go through life, to know that there are things that we can do when we are worrying, when we're agitated, when we're fearful. I mean, there's so many emotions, I think, that we can get caught up in 1 second today. And not necessarily the worst ones, but just things that bother us, that affect us in life, right? I know for myself, going to the center this morning, and there was like I-95 at 6 in the morning was totally back to back. And I got that agitated feeling of, oh my goodness, how am I going to get there? Do I turn around? And then as I was driving, because we teach that you can even meditate while you're driving. It doesn't mean you're not aware of driving, but just kind of go into silence, though you're silent when you're driving, but inside. It's really, we're talking about the inner world of meditation. It's not necessarily the outer world. It's that we go within, which I think be a good time right now to do a little going into silence meditation, right?
Absolutely. Just wanted to ask you. So, yes, when we will get shortly into meditation, yes, we are silent, but the main silence is more connected to thoughts, right? That's what I understand, and that's what I think we're going to experience in the meditation. So, it is not uh, basically no thoughts, right?
Right. A lot of people think that they're supposed to have no thoughts, and they complain. Sometimes people say, I can't do it. I can't stop myself. The thoughts keep coming. But Raja Yoga meditation, Brahma Kumaris, we really don't teach that. We teach that are always probably going to have thoughts, right? Positive
And
thoughts. So.
yes, yes, and I think the beauty is the quality of thoughts, and where we sort of um, get in this reminder that um, I am this energy that creates thoughts, and basically this energy is full of love, peace. And I think these are the qualities and experiences that we are absorbed in during that silence that we speak of. And that is what nourishes us.
Mm.
So yes, let's have a little taste of it.
Yeah, let's do it, right? Let's do it. So right now, and we are going to be doing it without music tonight. Often we use music, but we're going to be in a very silent space right now. And so let me just, as I meditate, let me now just go within, leave behind the world of all of my activities, all of my worries, things that I need to do, things that I haven't taken care of that still need to be done, and just forget about it. Forget about it for the next few minutes, and just enjoy this time alone with yourself. So go within right now. As we go within and focus inside our head, which is right between the eyebrows inside our head, that we focus on the soul, the energy of who we truly are. We do have a body, but we have this beautiful energy within us, this wonderful radiant energy, and that's who we are. That's our essence, our consciousness. And so right now I focus on that consciousness within me. And I sparkle. I start to just sparkle with the feeling of who I am, that I am this beautiful soul seeking ultimately silence, getting rid of the noise of my life, the noise of those worries and things that have to take place in my life. And I just focus on the quiet. I enjoy this time right now, this time of just being with myself, being alone with myself. I've forgotten at times who I am and how much I can enjoy myself. And as I sit here in silence, I can know myself and even love myself more than I ever have as I see my beautiful qualities, my qualities of love that I have, my qualities of peace. Let me focus now on peace. I am this being of peace. I get caught up in peacelessness, but now as I go within me, I draw myself inside to this very, very sacred space of mine. I can feel this peace. And I realize that I don't have to be on a mountaintop or in a park or in the ocean. I can visualize that if I want right now. I can visualize being in the ocean. I can visualize being on a mountaintop, experiencing that quiet, that peace. And the more that I experience this, the more happy that I become, and the more I'm able to untangle all of the tangles of my life, the complexity of my life, the worries of my life. I can just let go of all of that and know inside that everything is working out to benefit me. And I realize that the more that I think in this way, and it's the silence of my life right now, experiencing this silence, I can be much more satisfied with my life and even know that everything is working out, and that the more fulfilled I am and the more peaceful I am, the more that everything does work out. And it feels good to just be sitting here in silence, total silence. For the next few seconds, let's just have no words and just see ourselves as souls, as bright, bright lights, soaking in this energizing silence, this peace, with no words at all. I am peace. I'm filling myself up with peace and love and light. Om Shanti. Now I can gently just pull away, come back to life, but in a different way. I can be much different after even just a few minutes of silence, of peace. Right, Meeta? This is what we do on a regular basis, together, alone. We do it in our homes. Or we can do it anywhere, can't we?
It's so true. And I was just thinking, I'm sitting outside here in my patio, and in this beautiful breeze. And you're in your room, and basically in our minds, we were in that sweet space, in that sweet silence, which was actually nourishing. And but I have to say just one thing. Yes, you understand how silence initially perhaps could be a little overwhelming thing, but it's a gradual process. And the more you sit in silence, and even if there are things you don't want to face, uh, But for me, I am still able to do that because I know after I go past those things, there is this sweeter silence, there is this beautiful, nourishing space within me. So that helps me, sort of even face the things that could be going around in my mind. Or so it's a very beautiful process. And thank you, Meredith, for taking us in that space. Um, any more thoughts in silence before we conclude today's session?
Well, I think as we were saying that you can do this wherever you are. If you're walking, I said, even if you're driving, wherever you are, you're at work, just take a moment, a few moments, and just go within and experience the silence. So it's really good, as we know, because we practice this, to be able to do this every day for, at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes and more. But if you can't, you don't have the luxury of much time, you can do it with throughout the day, a little bit here and a little bit there, and just stop, breathe, right? Breathe in peace, breathe out anything negative, just experience that peace and go into that silence. So it's been really nice to be with you and to
Yeah.
share what we believe in, what we love. And I wanted to end on a couple of exactly poems, but some words, some special words. So the first one I wanted to read was, when I learned to find that quiet space within me, the space in which I am able to experience that inner silence, I realized how hungry I was for it, how much I had missed it and needed it. And that's Sister Genti, who's one of our spiritual leaders, teachers, writer, speaker, just an amazing person, individual with the Brahma Kumaris. And I think maybe, do I have time to read one little thing about silence? Okay. To create a time of silence, this is called peaceful thought. To create a time of silence takes just a second. A second is a drop of time through which I step to renew myself deep inside. So I stop for a second and say to myself, now I shall go inside. In the space of that second, I pass beyond all the muddle and find myself in my original state of peace. Om Shanti. And
Thank you.
It's been great to be with you, Meeta.
Sure,
And
same
you
here.
out there. You out there too.
Yes, and I think we'll be having more of these conversations on weekday evenings. So please check our calendar and please join us for more sessions from insights from many more students who are practicing meditation. And it's lovely what each of us have to offer. So thank you for joining us. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.